Fáilte, fellow creatures of the night. As the witching hour approaches, we begin our tale for tonight. So check the doors and windows are locked. Look underneath the bed and turn down all the lights. For tonight's tale is about to begin. For tonight's tale, darklings, I will give you only this advice. Don't touch it. Don't watch it. Don't give it to anyone. My wife Katie and I bought an abandoned cabin in the Bridger Mountains. I started renovations on it last week and discovered a metal munitions box under the floorboards in one of the closets. I've heard of people finding valuables, so of course I opened it immediately. Inside, I found a dictaphone and a small, almost miniaturized VCR with a strap. I played the file on the dictaphone as I examined the player. A man's voice in full panic played back.
My name is Alan Alderminsk. My friends Mike Johnson, Jake Stewart, Jeff Mason, and Abe Pulsbo saw something we weren't supposed to see. If you're listening to this, you're in danger. Last night at Jeff's bachelor party, Jake brought a bunch of obscure videos. We didn't think any of it was real. The tape was labelled Winnebago Man. I hid it here to bargain for my life. Today's date, June 11th, 2002. They started following us a day after we watched it. Mike disappeared first. And let's see, he picked it up first. He asked what it was. Jake said he just grabbed a pile from a friend's collection and brought him over. All he did was touch it. He handed it to Jake, and Jake put it in the VCR. We thought it would be porn. Then Jake vanished. And no. I don't mean they vanished after they touched it. I think they started taking us in the order that we touched it. Because Abe took it out of the VCR and they took him next. Then he handed it to Jeff. And let's see. When did Jeff give it to me? I was home. Just give me a minute! I never touched it. I mean, not until Jeff handed it to me and told me to hide it. Fuck. So, right. Don't touch it. Don't watch it. Don't give it to anyone. Just put it fucking back and forget that you ever laid eyes on it.
Honestly, that guy, Alan, sounded like a lunatic. If he didn't want me to watch it, why did it come with a VCR? I took it to the den and figured out that playing it was easier said than done. The component didn't fit my TV. The next problem I encountered: no power supply. Okay, maybe he didn't want me to watch it. But why the VCR? I tried ejecting it. Nothing. I tried prying it open with a knife. I found a screwdriver and decided to dismantle the whole thing. It so happens that I have a VCR. I needed it to watch the unedited hand-shot first copies of the original Star Wars trilogy. I didn't recognize the type of cassette. Not beta. I triggered a spring mechanism and the cassette easily popped out. It had one big spool and one smaller spool. Either way, watching it on my VCR wasn't going to work. I opened up my notebook and typed in the model number of the VCR. I clicked on the one with the picture of a briefcase full of everything I needed. I ordered it next day air. The smell of vintage wafted from the box as soon as I opened it. I plugged it into the wall socket, turned the monitor on, and pushed play. The footage started out with an ad for a Winnebago. That is, until the man started cursing. I had to laugh. This is the tape. At about 44 minutes, the clip cut out. On the upper left hand of the screen, the words Tu Seti, sample 1 of 7. Aerial footage of a field appeared. Giant blades of grass swayed in the wind beneath the camera. A phrase scrolled across the bottom of the screen. Alpha acquired. The camera gave chase to a shape moving through the grass. When it came into focus, it captured a creature I've never seen before. It had 4 legs and a torso with arms. I guess I expected to see a head. Something bulged out of its back as it ran from the camera. The arms reached back and spread what looked to be folds of skin on its hind quarters. A mouth unfolded from within. I say it's a mouth because it screamed at the camera. This is where the shouting started. Like police barking orders. They weren't speaking a language I understood, but they sounded human. Suddenly the creature came to a complete stop in front of a wall of soldiers. Human soldiers. They shot the creature with electric cables and it fell to the ground moaning. The camera zoomed in on the creature. It highlighted each body part until it paused on the creature's back. Concealed vocal chamber. The soldiers gathered around the creature and removed its skin, folding it neatly next to the body. No, not skin. Clothes. They spread open the creature's maw and gave the camera a good shot. I expected to see teeth, but there were none. One of the soldiers lifted a limb. It folded outward, hinged by 3 joints, like a giant finger. At the end of each limb, tentacles hung limply. A soldier held up another section of its body. The creature had 2 eyes on what appeared to be its neck. They moved about frantically. Whatever the soldiers hit the creature with, it didn't kill it. It immobilized it. They loaded the creature, now naked, onto an octagonal cot. The soldiers lifted the creature's body and transported it across the field to a conical vessel. The camera closed in on the vessel and fixated next to the US flag. The screen turned white for a moment, and the footage cut to a warehouse. Soldiers and men in white smocks milled about the grounds. Static cracked as an announcement sound from the intercom system. Vessel 1008, Odysseus embarked at slip A14, 1018 to slip A14, all personnel. The footage cut out to 2:56, and the man now stood next to the Winnebago, sighing. I'm blinded by that fucking hot light. I sat for a moment. It's gotta be fake. Alan said it took a couple of days before they followed him, but that had to be bullshit. It's not like there's some kind of magical beacon emanating from the cassette, right? I watched it several more times. After a while, I couldn't help myself. I had to know who this Alan guy was. I flipped open my laptop, launched Google, and typed Alan Aldermansk into the search field. I only found his name. 8. Alan Aldermansk. He placed in the top 10 of a rock climbing competition in Colorado, 2002. The window blipped and returned me to Google. Just like that, the result disappeared, replaced by book listings, all in German. That was enough for me. I didn't even leave a note. I grabbed the briefcase, got in my car, and drove until I thought I saw a black car pacing me a few lengths back. I ditched the car and ran. I've been mostly staying off major highways, but sometimes I gather the courage to hitchhike. Had I only listened to Alan's warning, I wouldn't be hauling up for the night in the bathroom of an abandoned Texaco right now. I'll stay on the move until I run out of luck, I guess. If they find me, they can have the case. I just needed to get it as far away from Katie as possible. What should worry you is that there are 7 samples of this footage floating around out there. If you find one, take heed. Don't touch it. Don't watch it. Don't give it to anyone. Put it back where you found it and forget you ever laid eyes on it. Thanks for joining me for tonight's tale, Darklings. I am GoblinPrincessKyo, and if you enjoyed our encounter, then subscribe for more accounts and tales from the darker side of life. Ah, the broom fell. Company is coming. Sweet dreams. Meet you back at midnight.